right? I was concerned that if I was looking at the trees, I just planted. Malaysia has just this 1 million tree project, so I was planting some trees, I brought some trees here too. So looking at the trees. The issue is they are also very efficient in cutting the trees. So the more the lawn, they cut the trees too. Right? So they need to coordinate with people who cut the trees. Right? What's the news in China about the protests in US? How do they report news?
The protest,
The demo
anti.
is it? How do they report? Meaning, is serious matter, not serious matter? Is it neutral, not neutral, critical, or US?
Just report what happened.
Just report what happened.
There's very few, especially for critical or judgment. There's no.
Just report.
The task.
I found someone.
They give
Facebook.
From?
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
华春莹，华春莹。
Wow.
The Chinese official.
Chinese official, okay. Minister, foreign minister maybe.
Yeah.
The news is only the official voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But China has been quite critical of what's happening in Palestine, right?
Yeah. But this moment I see a new news. Not hot news. It was delayed by the office. There's a supervisor, a professor. Yeah, a professor researched the COVID-19 during the 2020, but now the Shanghai government closed his library. 实验室怎么说来着？
什么？
close his research
Center.
Yeah.
Research center.
Research center, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the professor, maybe last night, asleep outside the research center.
Oh, so
Yeah.
oh, this is the research center is Shanghai or Shanghai?
Yeah.
Oh. So the Chinese government closed.
Shanghai government.
Shanghai government closed the research center.
Yeah.
Oh, research center is American research center or?
Also, it is reported that the government haven't paid the research fees, about 700 yuan.
Okay.
700.
Oh, they didn't pay the rent.
Yeah.
The rent.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the research fees.
The research fees.
Research 研究经费怎么说？
The funds.
Research fund.
Oh, okay.
The money.
About 700,000.
Yeah.
700.
Okay.
So
So government doesn't pay, doesn't give the funds.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So he sleeps outside the
yeah, and he and his students.
sleep outside of the research.
Yeah.
But so this is not about Palestine, Israel, right? It's not about that, right? It's not connected, right?
Not connect.
But it's reported. I see the news from the Facebook.
From Facebook.
It's a news.
The Facebook reports that in China the article was deleted.
Was deleted. Oh, okay.
So maybe we could receive more news from the Chinese media.
And last week, the Blinken went to Shanghai at the beginning and visiting the President Xi.
Yes.
There's no result.
There's no CNN reported on that one. CNN says something about David Blinken. It's like foreign minister, right? The state secretary is like foreign minister, was telling China not to support Russia.
Yes.
Russia's fight against Ukraine, supposedly.
China cannot do
It's
not
always like
agree.
that. It's always like that from the beginning.
Well, it's interesting. I also saw reports that there's animation cartoon, right? Cartoons, US cartoon, right? What is it called? Invisible cartoon, right? So they get China to do the animation, right? So China outsourced it to North Korea. so American has a sanction against North Korea, right? So this company's production goes back to North Korea through China. So it's a big trouble to the company, right? But when US does bad things, no one take action against them. But when North Korea and whatever, they would sanction, Okay. Alright, but the protest, the demo in the US campus is big right now. It's a big issue, they came outside.
And they got arrested.
Arrested, hit, and all that. During the Gulf War, the first Gulf War, the old Bush, not the young Bush, right? Gulf War. I was in US, right? I was demonstrating. Demonstrating on US campus, right? But there were only 5 of us.
But use it.
Yeah? Demonstrating.
5% of the
5%. So when you have 5,000, you feel the strength, right? When you find 5, that's the test of your strength. Would you still protest with 5%? So as a professor, I remember me, and then I joined the Friends of Palestine. It's called an association, a society called Friends of Palestine, not Palestine. Palestine is about 2 of them, and I am the only there outside of the. And then there's one professor, I think, a postgraduate student, one of the. I'm an undergraduate at the time, not graduate, so 5 of them. So the media came interview, and I went into the TV. It's quite amazing protest. So amazing demo. 5. Now 5,000, you're not afraid. 5, you might be afraid. But Americans are stupid, Sorry, I'm to say that. They don't know where's Iraq. Where's Iran? They don't even know. It's like they're only in their own country. They don't know where is Iraq. So
I really sometimes the Americans do not learn the history and geography.
they don't know, but
They know nothing about it.
they go invade the country. They even don't know what the country is. Crazy, that's how bad. Their geography is really bad. They know Iraq is in Middle East. They don't even know Iraq, where's Iraq. Remember they asked me, where are you from? Malaysia? So I explained Malaysia is where on island. And then I said, after a while I started explaining where Malaysia is. So when they asked me where Malaysia is, he said, you know where Mexico is? Yeah, I know Mexico. Very far away from Mexico.
Very far.
It's close to North Pole. They think that the world is US,
Yes.
That's how America. Of course, not all Americans are stupid, but generally they are ignorant. But we know more about them than they know about themselves and about the world. We know more because we watch the TV, watch the movies,
And we learn, everything we just watch the news all around the world.
Yes.
But the Americans, they focus on their own.
Their own news, and they have this hockey, ice hockey, right? Ice hockey. It's called World Series. World Series. It's only US and Canada. They call it World Series, you know. The only two countries that call it World Series. Okay, if you're ready now, okay, I see Johan is there, Lee, Hansen, my brother, Abang Rizal, Chiao Sung. Okay. Is that Johan?
Yeah, Joanne.
Oh, right, Johan, okay. You look different, Johan. For some reason. Hansen, Lee, and Lan Bin. Chang is here too. Okay. Good to see you. Okay. One of these days we'll get Chang to present his whole thesis because you haven't done that yet, Chang, yeah? Yeah, because the other day, Zhao Chenran has presented us, so we'd like to listen to you both. Yeah?
Prepare.
All right, okay. So today we have Jim Haoming is going to present, as well as Pak Rudy is present too. Pak Rudy wants to be known as Rudy instead of Pak Rudy because he's being very humble as well. And, so Jim, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you have your PowerPoint?
Okay, Jim, you can start.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Haoming. The topic of my presentation is study on social worker information in community mental rehabilitation services. Take the example of Community G in China. It's divided into 6 sections. Okay.
You say next, please.
Okay, next.
Please.
Okay. This is the 6 sections about research background, research program, research questions and objectives, literature review, and research methodology and references. Okay, next page. And the first part, the research background. In recent years, the relevant departments or Chinese government issued some policies, including a great deal of information on community mental rehabilitation, especially mentions how social workers can be brought into this work. For example, the policy guiding opinions on actively implementing government purchase or community rehabilitation services for mental disorders proposed the social workers as the core, others as the key professional forces. Similarly, the policy circular on carrying out the mental rehabilitation integrated action proposed that efforts must be made to cultivate a team of mental health social workers. Therefore, social work intervention in mental rehabilitation has become an inevitable requirement. But most of the community mental projects are undertaken by nursing home and mental hospitals without social workers. So this study will focus on analyzing the relationship between the the role of social workers in the team structure, the social worker service and the effectiveness of the project. Okay, next page. Based on the research background, there are some problems about how social workers can be brought into this area. This role used to be provided by psychiatrists and nurses before the new policy issued. But now the new policy has issued, and the social workers must act as a core in service team. So there are three important questions. First one is how can social workers do a good job in positioning their team roles. Second, because most of us workers haven't do the job before, maybe, and they may not, they may don't know how should they do in this field. Secondly, what professional skills they should use in the services, maybe casework, group work, or any other skills. And finally, whether the finally, whether the participation of the social workers in this field services is effective or not. Therefore, the study will clarify these three questions. Okay, yes. Okay, the research questions and objectives. However, there are also included three points. The first one is what's the role positioning of social workers in service team. We must consider the role definition, social worker value, or training courses, or social worker ratio. Then, what professional skills is suitable in this field? For example, casework, group work, community work, or there are any more choices. At last, the significance of the presence of social workers in this field, effectiveness, or output proportion, or social demand level. Corresponding the above three questions, the study will achieve three objectives. The first one is the role of social workers in this field, and the factors influencing it. The second is the professional skills in this field and the factors influencing it.
And the factors.
Factors. Thank you. And the last one is the social workers' participation in this field. Is that the effectiveness or not? And the factors influencing it. Okay, the next page. The first part is the lecture review. In order to understand this study, I have searched about 50 relevant papers and divided into three parts. The first one is the first part. Mendel and other scholars focus on the social workers' role in this field. And the second part is the Nagita and other scholars focus on being in the community and being with and being others contribute to more favorable emotion states among individuals with serious mental illness, and they also focus on the clients to go out for the job.
The clients?
Clients, social worker service the client. So
The client. Right, good. Okay, clients. All right.
And the third part is Acker and the other scholars focus on the factors that impact social work services. Okay, but from these papers, I found also three gaps. The first one is most of the studies focus on social work or mental rehabilitation. Various studies are planned of the two parts, particularly in Chinese reading. I searched the papers from the WOS. There are only two papers planned the two parts. Also include one in Hong Kong. Yeah. The second part, there's insufficient research on group work, community work, and other methods of intervention in this field. I also searched the papers. There are about 76 in WOS. Yeah. And the third is the most studied force on urban inside of rural areas. Especially, I want to say only almost maybe very little scholars, very few scholars focus on this field in China, in the world. But most scholars in China focus on this area. Yeah.
Focus on
community mental rehabilitation, because social work intervention in this field is only issued in recent years, but maybe
in recent years.
Yeah, recent years, 2020, yeah. So about 3 to 4 years only. Yeah. Okay, that's page. To achieve the objectives, I will use qualitative method. In the first place, I have collected more than 50 papers. Then I will collect and analyze the paper to find the information for the study. In the second place, I want to do some in-depth interviews. Maybe I will select 20 interviewees for the project founders, relevant departments, clients, and stakeholder groups. Yeah. And at last, I will use a large number of studies, qualities, and interviews as a base for justifying the hypothesis for all this research. Okay, next page. In the end, I will talk about the references. The reference I divided into 3 parts. The first one is the policy issued by Chinese government, and the second is the relevant studies, and the third part is the professional standards and the specialized standard and the books. Okay. That's bring me to the end of my presentation. That's
Correct. All right. This is your first presentation to the group.
Yeah, the first.
Okay, your group supervision. All right. Good. All right. For first one, you did well. It's a bad, a lousy beginning to start with. To stick to, right? Well, it's an excellent start for you, right? It's a lousy point to stick to, but it's an excellent point to begin your journey. So you already have some clarity here, which is, I think, is good. So now it's about fine tuning, because both you and Pak Rudi will have your presentation on which week 12 or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Poll. So they are making poll the proposal defense now.
Oh.
Which is even crucial. I agree, I disagree, because you might require more time to prepare for a proposal defense, right? You want to fine tune the work, but it should be, at least 2 semesters. Within that 2 semesters, after 6 months, our target is between 6 months to 9 months, right? But this is after 12 weeks, right? 12 weeks or something like that. 12 weeks, like
it's impossible.
yeah, it's in there. So We got to make this one even more surgically, more surgical improvement for your work, like surgery, improve it. Okay, so within this few weeks, you must improve it to the level of proposal defense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, where do we start? And I think this is an important start for all of you. I wanted to convey to you, I conveyed to Jim already. I think last week, yeah, I was in a Viva. I was in a PhD Viva. It's not my student. I was just a representative of the director. So in a Viva, you have the chairperson, right? Chairperson, chair. The one who sits and moderates the session. You have the secretary, right, of the Viva, who is Madam Rose, head of administration of CPR. And then we have the representative of the director, representative of CPR, right? So me, usually it's a director or deputy director, or it could be a representative, because I was a representative of the director. And then you have your supervisor, and you have the external and internal examiners, right? So what happened was the candidate went in with a better grade. At the end of the Viva, the grade went down. Yeah, the chairperson kind of suggested for him to resubmission, right? What does it mean? So your scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the result of the Viva, of the PhD or master's defense, right? Number 5 is fail, right? 5 is fail, right? Number 4 is resubmission. Resubmission meaning you have to go through the Viva again. It's not fail, but it's not pass either, right? So you got to resubmit. They're giving you a chance to resubmit again. And resubmit meaning you have to go through the Viva, and there's maybe data collection and all that, right? Maybe your writing is not right, or analysis is not right, you got to rewrite. The third is major correction, number 3. Number 2 is minor correction. Number 1 is basically no correction, very, very, very little correction, right? So 1 is basically almost perfect. 2 is minor correction. 3 is major correction. 4 is resubmission. 5 is failure. So the chairperson almost suggested a resubmission, right? So, let's see. Oh no, I was an internal. There was another Viva. I'm confused with another Viva. I'm the internal. I'm the internal examiner. And the external examiner happened to be my student. Now he's in another university, but he's the external examiner of this candidate. The candidate is from Saudi, is an Arab student. His PhD written work is good, but his defense was bad. His communication, a lot of questions he cannot answer the question. He did not understand, or he cannot answer. So that affected the defense. So the point I want to raise to you is that communication is very important. So very, very, very crucial. It can make or break, and the supervisor cannot help you at that time. There were 2 supervisors. So one is the main supervisor, there's one is the second supervisor. The main supervisor is hospitalized, by the way. He's in the hospital, but he came in still to help. I gave the student a 2, right? So minor correction. But at the end, I insisted. I would say no, we should still pass him, but then you all brought me down to 3 major correction. So from 2 to major correction, partly because the person cannot defend his written work. So the Viva is another part that is very important, right? So that's why 3 things I'm asking you all to do: to make a lot of presentations to group supervision, right? by the time you're ready for your Viva, you at least will have 12 to 15 to 16, sometimes 20, right? Because every year you make 3 to 4 presentations during group supervision. So within 3 years, you will have, 12 or 16, or if we make more presentation, it'll be 20. I think Kyla has made many presentations by now. How many, Kyla?
More than 10 times.
More than 10 times, yeah? Really?
Yes.
More than 10 times? Oh, sure.
I changed my titles twice.
Yeah. Yeah, more than 10 times. But, you're getting better and better and better.
Better and
better. So, we are giving you that training and practice because finally it's the Viva. That is the battle, is the fight is in the Viva, right? Yeah, that's the point. The Viva is the fight. We are all preparing to fight during the Viva.
The final fight.
The final part, and I cannot go in. I can go in, but I cannot say anything. It's still quiet, right? In fact, after you defend, there will be another session. There are 3 sessions: before, during, after. Before, the supervisor can say things. Right? Oh, this is a good student. He's been working hard. Blah 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 blah. This research is good. And that, right? And then during the Viva, supervisor cannot say anything. Right? At the end of the Viva, the candidate will sit out from the WebEx or out of the room. In this case, out of the room. It was in this room. So he has to go out. So only the examiners and the chair will talk, will discuss, right? So the supervisor cannot come in unless the examiner, like me, right, can I get input from the supervisor, which I did to help the student. I said, okay. I said, the supervisor is a Datuk, by the way, somebody with a big title. Can you tell me, it's one of the criminologists in top 10 criminologists in Asia, in Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia, it's top 3 or something. So can you get your input of him? And then he started to give his input. Otherwise, supervisor cannot come in. Right? So, his upon invitation, supervisor can come in and comment. Right? So, the point I want to tell you is that we have the group supervision, is when you make presentation many times. So after a while, your presentation is not, you're not anxious anymore, right? Even though you still have anxiety, which is good during the Bible, but you want to be able to manage your anxiety, right? Number 2, when you come in and make the presentation here, so you can listen to your friends too. I will be making corrections, improvements, comments, reinforcement, and you see, okay, this is how it can be done, this is how it cannot be done, and I will also make correction on your presentation, right? Not just content, but presentation, the verbal presentation as well as visual presentation. So I will give you visual point as well. The third thing I want to say is about and when I Jim, when I correct you, and it's not because I'm picking on you. I want to make you succeed during the Viva. Right? Because your success is also my success, right? Yes. I told you all my students graduated, right? So all 100%, I'm 20 now, right? So I want you to graduate as well, right? So it's important for you to start improving yourself, right? From this point onwards. Right? Now, is there a guarantee that you are not nervous at the end? There's no guarantee, but you have that training upon training. And then, Chinese, you all believe in this especially. Keep on training until it becomes easy, right? But still, there is no guarantee, right? I have one of my students, right? Raji can tell you because Raji was in the meeting, right? Her thesis was very good. Right? But she was panicking during the Viva. right? It was in the other room, in Nilam, not this room, it's in Nilam room. She bought a new laptop. Never tested the laptop, right? So, and I asked her to, and it's a simple question, what's your research objective? She can answer her research objective. She can answer. What's the research? She cannot. She was panicking and sweating. You know, I was like, oh God, this is one of the worst. She can answer that. She can answer. Basically, she can answer anything. She was panicking or looking for her papers here and there. It was like flipping, you know. So, but thank God, right? Thank God. This is God helping. That's why I said in the Bible, only the examiners and God can decide your fate. She wrote a very good thesis. So her thesis, even though she did not make it through the Bible, the examiners still give her a 1. A 1. You know, not 2, not 3. A 1, right? So they look at her thesis. The thesis is very strong. Nominated thesis to be, a candidate to get the best thesis award, right? So at that time, I was like, okay, this is God's intervention, not because she basically failed for the Viva. If I were to judge, she failed, right? Cannot answer any word. What's the research question? Problem objective was looking for. Cannot find research objective on the thesis. I know where the research objective is page is, right? I know research problem. She cannot find it in her thesis. But she graduated at the end, was nominated to get best thesis. Thank God, the examiner, one particular, the examiner really helped her, right? So, so there's still one chance of that happening, right? So there was one case. The other case, I have a student did very well. He's a valedictorian of in Malaya, the best university in Malaysia, right? Valedictorian for undergraduate. She went to his master's. He got a 2, but he was arrogant. That the chair wanted to help him and all that. He was, I'm a very good student. When he started to be arrogant, oh God, I started to be arrogant, and then then the chairperson get very angry. Not the examiner, the chairperson, not the examiner. The chairperson, okay, now let's go page by page, not chapter by chapter, page by page. I was like, this is terrible. So at the end, he actually was already good. His grade went down as well. So there were 3 cases of my student, two cases where their grade went down. It was good, but the presentation was bad. I'm sorry, only one person. The other person, his grade went up. Oh. He's from LSPR, by the way. Oh. A student from LSPR. I can't even tell him who is Rizky. You know Rizky? Dr. Rizky, he's in another university. He's from London School of Public Relations. So he went in, he wears suit with a tie. The only one of my students wears suit and tie. I said, we usually don't have to wear suit and tie. I'm more competent. So he went in from a lower grade, he graduated at a higher grade. Because he's a communication person. So he communicated well, and then he from lower grade, he went up. So that's quite amazing. From LSPR, yeah. So communication makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of difference, right? So Jim, you will need to improve your communication, right? Conversational,
Yeah.
right? So there are many moments is now that I cannot understand what you're saying, right? So I'm going to tell you that you need to employ a method in presentation. When you read, you will need to be able to point to where you're reading. You know what I mean? Either using your cursor, right? So cursor, yeah. What is a cursor? Can you explain what cursor is? The arrow. That's a cursor. That's a cursor. So Hannes, can you go show the slide?
用指针去指那个
字，指那个字。
指那个对，到哪儿指到哪儿。
Right?
So when I do the presentation, I
Use this one. When you read it,
OK，
You point， 哎，对，指那个字，你读那个字，你就指那个字
OK，
Yeah.
，okay?
OK，
Alright, so I know which word you're referring to. Right, right. So because we are preparing for this, week, another 4 or 5 weeks, right? You have so you need to do that.
Yeah.
The other one is, as I told you before, use Google Translate to listen on how the pronunciation is right? I told you we've downloaded the apps software too, right?
Yeah.
So your presentation, you need to know how the pronunciation of each presentation is, right? You can do it with your friends too. If your friends do not understand, don't present to a Chinese friend. Present to a non-Chinese friend,
Okay.
because Chinese friends have Chinese ears.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You can hear. We tend to be able to understand more with the same ethnic group, right?
Yeah.
But you want to present to a different ethnic group, maybe Hanif or somebody, right?
Okay.
Present and make sure you're able to read, right? So you do that. You do not have many slides, 4 or 5 slides, so you just need to master these 4 or 5 slides. Okay. Just 4 master. You just need to know how to block, how to punch, how to kick. That's it, right? That's it, right? Enough to pass this one, right? So use the cursor to point. You want to read from it, use the cursor to point, yeah, and then know each pronunciation precisely.
Okay.
Using the apps, the software you use.
Yeah.
The third thing is to read to a friend who is a non-Chinese friend.
Okay.
It could be the Pakistani friend downstairs, Atif downstairs. It could be Anu, it could be Hanif, right? We are all imperfect, right? Because we are not native speakers. We are not Americans. We are not English. We are not, Australians. We are not native speakers. So and the committee is also non-native speakers. But we will need to be able to listen and understand what you say, right? So that has to do with presentation, the verbal presentation, right? The second one is still about your presentation. Now we're talking about visual presentation. You want to make the words big. The word big, right? Make it 大，
意思
不是一点很多，
是大些，就是看清。
看得清
看清楚。
字有点小。
Alright.
Okay. Maybe I
16 font minimum. What font? Minimum 16 font. Minimum. But this is always
14.
14. Go 16 font.
Okay.
Minimum.
Okay.
So you can go 18, 19 is fine. So
Okay.
right.
Just like the title.
Like that. Yeah. So okay. I'm still about the visual now. It's not verbal presentation. It's the visual. So you call this one. Make it big. Alright. 16 font. And then if you have 2 sentences, make it two paragraphs. Is this 2 sentences? No, it's 1 sentence.
Yeah, 1 sentence.
Break it into 2 sentences. This is when you have something that's longer than three sentences, you break it into 2 sentences.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it's easy to read 2 sentences. Right?
Yeah.
So this is visual. You know that newspaper, the column is small, right?
Yeah.
That newspaper,
Yeah.
报纸, yeah, 报纸,
Two parts maybe.
yes, yeah. Because easy to read.
Yeah.
So it's like a psychology thing, a visual thing. Right? I think Bahudi will know this is teaching communications. He's the communication expert there. Right? So do the visual thing. Alright. The other thing is, so that's the second part. The third part is highlight keywords. Highlight keywords. Either you use red color like this, or make it big or underline. So highlight keywords. So when people see keywords.
Okay.
Right? Okay?
Okay.
So that's the visual. So whenever, can I go, let me see. You also have certain spelling mistakes. If you go to literature review.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell word by word because I did not see word by word. I'm not too fast. For literature review. And the literature review, No. Yeah. Further down. Further down, okay. Focus, there.
Yeah.
There, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't tell you word by because I did not see word by word, but then check the grammar, right? Make sure it's right. Most of it is fine. Only one or two. But then there are some committee members, some evaluators, some examiners. They are like very picky. Yeah, they like this word. Like I identify. I look at there are more 5 mistakes. They will say things like that, right? Yeah, especially women examiners. Sorry to say this. Women examiners tend to be more picky. Sorry, but this is I'm not telling you being sexist or whatever, but I'm just telling you that there's a tendency towards that, right? But I have a friend of mine, a male examiner too, but he's also more picky about the formatting. He's more picky about formatting, right? So these are things, but this has to do with that's the thesis, not yeah, right? Okay, that's the visual. Okay, let's go to the substance part, right? The substance part. Okay, I'm glad that you do not have many slides to present because you won't have a lot of time. Time is actually another part, right? I think you're given how many minutes, yeah? Last time you were how long? They give you for?
I practice and
I'm asking you, your link. How many minutes were you given for POL 500 for your presentation? 10. 15.
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10? Okay. So you got to practice. 10 minutes, yeah? Not 15, yeah? 10.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay. I forgot to, I don't know. Because last time it's not proposal defense. So, because it's not proposal defense, it's evaluated much more lenient, it's not strict, Now it's because the proposal defense is stricter, right? So how do you make sure the TB standard is 100? Right? Anyways, you just check. And Pak Rudy also check how long do you have to present. Yeah, check with Madam Roshima, Quadratima. Sure. Yeah, how long do you have to present? Because that's a lot. 10 minutes and 15 minutes is a lot of difference, right? Okay. Where are we? Now we are talking about the substance of your work right now. Okay. Okay. Study on social work intervention in community mental rehabilitation services. Take the example of County G in China. Okay, so the title, you need to work on the title, right? Tentatively, I'll give you some quick improvement, but you might need to improve it later, right? So you do not need to work study on, remove that one. Okay, remove study on social work intervention in community mental rehabilitation services. Okay. Take the example of County G. What's G?
Country, I think spelling.
Huh?
Wrong spelling.
G.
County.
County G.
What is county?
Country G.
就是在中国，我们把一个城市简写了
Oh, it's a county, a city.
A city.
，a county，
A county.
Country.
A county.
it
Name
names
the G.
it
The
names
name is G.
Short for G.
小
高堂，
So you put the longer version then.
Yeah.
Because G sounds like some code word.
用全
Yeah, put the yeah. Okay.
要不然他觉得会是那种虚构的呀，或者怎么样的那种感觉。
OK，
So social work intervention in community mental rehabilitation services. A case study in county 什么 Gauteng in China.
OK，
Common China. Case study. Thank you, Hanif. case study in county, in Gaochang County, in Gaochang County. Gao with the G, I think.
GAO.
Oh,
GAOTA.
oh, you can improve it because Chinese spelling is a big challenge to a lot of people. The Z, CHT, we do not know which one is it.
Yes,
Thank you.
County or city?
County.
County, yeah.
Yeah.
County.
County is what? Sir.
No, in China it is the province, the
Province.
city, the county, the town.
Town.
Oh, county is alright.
Under city.
So the province is Shen.
Shen.
Yes.
Shen.
The city is Shi.
市。
The county is
县。
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 区或者区是地
是 district.
Yeah.
District, yeah.
It's the same.
Kacamatan, kabupaten,
Yeah.
individual. A big country you will have many layers. In Malaysia there's no many layers. It's a small country, right? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Anindra. So case study I think the word of. Case study of case study of Gauteng City in China. Sorry, I should be off there. In China, not the city in China. Alright, okay. I make sure my name is correctly spelled and all that is good. Alright, okay, let's go to your research questions now. The substance of your research question. By the way, hold on. The first one, this one. Research background. What do you mean by guiding opinions on actively implementing government purchase? Purchase?
It's a policy name. This is a policy name.
Oh, it's a name of policy.
Yeah.
Government purchase. Purchase means buy
Yeah.
of community rehabilitation purchase. Also, the government buy.
Yeah.
You buy some service.
Because my organization's founder.
Oh, okay.
The government is the
Client.
organization founder.
Founder.
Project founder.
Founder.
Yeah.
Okay, let me understand this.
And
So the government buys
services
services
from the organization.
from the organization.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Buy. Okay. So I seldom use the word buys. Okay, alright. Guiding opinions. Guiding opinions mean policy. Guiding opinions.
推动，积极推动。
Push. You mean
指南
guide,
Guide.
guiding.
I know. I know opinions. Opinions, right? Guiding opinions on actively implementing.
You want to promote,
Yeah, promote.
to make,
Promote.
for the development of
the promote. How to say?
Because I think that the
指导
government
意见。
the government think it's very important. So he got a policy to promote the activities about it to buy more services about mental.
How about guidelines? Guidelines.
Suggestions from government.
Suggestion. Guidelines. Can you say that?
指导意
Guiding
见。
opinions. Guiding opinions is just
The name is the guiding, but it's also a policy.
policy, right?
Policy, yeah.
Okay, it's a guiding
Kind of policy in
It's a
China.
guiding policy.
Mhm.
Yeah, guiding policy.
A type of policy.
Guiding policy on. Do not say actively implementing. Guiding policy on government purchase. Very simple. On government purchase, right? Oh. Okay. If the evaluators in the proposal defense is not examiners, it's evaluators, ask you need to be able to explain this policy, right?
Okay.
If they were asked, they were to ask you, then you need to be able to explain. So get the explanation ready.
Okay.
So if they ask you, you say, this policy has 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. You need to explain that. You don't say, this policy, I don't go there. Yeah. So if they ask you, you have to answer 1, 2, 3.
And the whole policy.
You don't need to be the 3 important parts of the policy,
Okay.
or just 1 important part. But it's good when you say the 3, right? 无三不成礼. Right? Without 3, it doesn't become rationality. Is that Chinese saying?
Yes, yes.
It's a Chinese saying, right? Without 3, it doesn't become rationality. So
1, 2, 3.
when you say 1, 2, 3, it sounds strong. It sounds like you know, right? It's like that. I think he knows. I think he doesn't know, right? So, so you want to say, okay, 1, 2, 3, and it's systematic. So that even it's okay now. Jim or Hao Ming knows what he's saying, right? So 1, 2, 3, say that. Okay?
Okay.
You need to be able to answer, right?
Okay.
Now, okay, since I'm talking about that, get the answer ready, put in 1 slide after thank you.
Okay.
After your thank you, you have a thank you at the end, right? Right? And then
What's the meaning?
What's the meaning? You have a slide called thank you.
The slide.
The last slide. You have a last slide, thank you? Or you don't have a slide called thank you? Okay, usually we have a slide. And so you put the you put it at the end after your presentation, right? So if they ask, you show the slide to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you're ready. The slide is ready. Can you go down? The answer is down there. Then you go to the slide, then you explain.
So, by the way, could I put some information?
Yes.
After
thank you.
After thank you, when they ask me, I could.
Yes. That's a strategy.
Okay.
Can prepare the
That's a
slides.
strategy. You can prepare the slides. Yeah. You should put thank you at the end. I didn't see this one. You should have thank you at the end. So put a thank you. Not another title. Another just thank you, right?
Okay.
This one should be thank you.
Good strategy.
So put at the end. That should be thank you. Oh, terima kasih. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the research question because this is the substance part of your presentation. Where do I start? Yeah. I think I want to go straight to what I want to say instead of improving because we want to go leapfrog. We want to jump to be ready, not little improvement. 不是改善, a Kaizen approach, right? We want to make that, big, a big leap, great leap forward. Great leap forward is a Chinese policy, right? I think it's a Mao Zedong policy. Great leap forward. Check, Google, great leap forward. I think it's Mao Zedong. If I remember when I studied.
唱两个出生强嘛。
I'm not sure.
Translate in English.
And how to spell?
Great leap forward.
Great.
Great leap, L-E-A-P. Great, G-R-E-A-T. Great leap, L-E-A-P. Forward.
Great leap forward. 大跃进。
大跃进。是毛泽东对不对？对。
大跃进。
So now 我不是要慢慢的改善，我们要大跃进。认真的。So we do not want to have small improvement. We got to make a great leap forward. 大跃进 ，OK， 跃是那个跃，
就是两个脚，
一个脚
蹦
jump。
哦 ，jump，
leap，
哦 ，OK。它的繁体字这样，繁体字吗？这个简体字我不大明白，不会读简体字。OK， 再来下，对，So 大跃进。
对，
对
，yeah。
Okay, so we are not doing the small Kaizen improvement, we are doing the great leap forward, right? So it's a Mao Zedong strategy. We're going to jump.
Jump. Not to walk.
Not to walk.
Jump.
So the idea is that, I think, I'm not sure if this is Mao Zedong or somebody else, in order to cross a great chasm, one has to make the great leap. That if you want to cross a big mountain like that, you cannot do small steps, right? You got to just jump, right? So sometimes you got to jump, and there are times you got to jump. 不是一步一步慢慢走的，not step by step, right? So this is jumping time. So it's not jumping time. So I'm going to make a revolution to your research question now, right? Start to do revolution. Usually because I want to make sure that it is aligned to what you do and all that. So I'm going to give you a big jump right now. This community, Gaotang,
yeah.
okay. Tell me about this community. Tell me about this community this county called Gaotang. Who are these people?
You mean I tell something else about this county?
I'm asking you, what are this county? Who are this county? Where is this county?
It's in
山东
Liaocheng City.
Liaocheng. Okay.
Also in Shandong Province.
Also in Shandong Province, alright. What's so special about this community?
Special.
你
为什么对这个感兴趣？
你为什么选择这个县？
对啊。
Because first, I think the Chinese government want to promote this field.
Yes.
The first one. The second one is I have said that there's no industry norms and standards in this city, or in most cities.
Okay.
But most governments must to purchase the product and services. So if we finish the study, maybe we could provide some standards or norms for them. You make this research question, let me see again, yeah? I cannot see this. See, when I look at these research questions, they are not it's not special, it's nothing too original about this. So, but you're doing qualitative research, right? Yeah.
You're doing qualitative research, right?
Yeah.
Qualitative, right? Qualitative, right? So you're doing qualitative research. Let me look at your research. I'm not sure what this really means. Go to your research objective. After this, we need to change the research question so that I can understand better. Research objectives, I think I can understand your research objectives better. Okay. All right, thank you. To determine the role of social workers in the community mental rehabilitation, determine the role of professional skills in community mental, the role, the skills, and the effectiveness. Now I want to get something special out of this. So first you want to understand the role, then you want to understand the
skills. So then maybe I want to
see the effectiveness.
Yeah.
So basically you're looking at the roles, looking at the skills, and the connection roles and skills with effectiveness.
Yeah.
right? Basically, you're looking at that. Okay.
In fact, I want to through the three objectives, maybe maybe we could make out standardization.
Standardization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also see some standardization from the other cities in China.
So what I'm thinking is, this is rather generic. So basically, you're studying the effectiveness of the social workers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're studying the effectiveness of the social workers. I think there are a lot of studies on this one. It might not be empirically done in rural China or whatever in the context of China, but it's not novel. Effectiveness of social work or social workers doesn't have that novelty part to your research. Who are the social workers you are interviewing?
First, maybe the project founders.
Project funders.
Yeah, funders. Second, the department in the city,
Okay.
relevant department in the city.
Okay, this is which part of China?
Yeah.
Which part of China? North, south, east,
East.
eastern,
Yeah.
eastern China. Okay.
Eastern China.
Do they have a particular approach?
Approach.
A particular method, approach?
You say that government.
Not government, the social workers, right? The social workers is part of your organization, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they also supply the service as casework, and
Caseworker.
also community work.
Community work.
Yeah, maybe also they help the clients to get the job.
So the social workers, they are employees of the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah? Employees of the organization. And this organization is there a method? Is there a method of social work? Is there, I'm talking about? There's a philosophy behind them of the social workers of the organization?
In fact, no, there's
No. They're just basically social workers.
yeah, the organizations supply some training.
They have training.
And also employ other social worker supervisors from the other cities. In China, we also divide the social worker as first one is the social work, and second one is the project manager, and also the social worker supervisor. So most approach or method maybe supplied by the social worker supervisor.
See, it sounds to me there's nothing novel, nothing new about this. Example, like drug rehabilitation. Drug rehabilitation. There's a method they send to the monks, per son. Okay. So the monk's method of drug rehabilitation see my point? That's a novel, that's original.
Oh.
That is, maybe say no one has studied the Buddhist, example, right? Or the Taoist approach, the Tao Jiao approach, or whatever else, this Sao Tu into the approach.
Maybe I can. Nowadays, the social worker use some method such as ask them to plant some flowers.
Something like that, yeah. So the natural approach, right? The green approach,
Yeah.
right? You see, you can get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So an approach or a method that has not been evaluated, tested, studied before. You see? So it can be a method, it can be local wisdom. What's local wisdom? You can check the English word for local wisdom. That's not English word, the Chinese word, Mandarin word. Local wisdom. What is it?
Local.
地方性知识
Sounds again, please.
地方性知识，
地方
性知识，
知识 knowledge.
地方性
地方性知识 knowledge. 地方 place.
knowledge
Local knowledge. So.
But we learn this method from the other.
They are from others, right? So they might not have, okay, so it's not local knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's something that, what approach they use, something that has not been studied before. Otherwise, honestly, I think effectiveness of social workers have been studied many times. A lot of studies have been made on effectiveness, right? So effectiveness of social workers. Now, even though it might present and, I'm thinking about eventually you'll be writing about something that will have problems with your Viva later on, because it's not quite original, effectiveness. Basically, you're looking at effectiveness. Ultimately, it's question number 3, right? Yeah. So,
but why I choose this topic, because before this one, I also know there are a lot of scholars do the research about the social work effectiveness.
yeah.
But I think this field is a new field in
China.
Not in China, in Shandong province or other province, because social work innovation in this field is maybe 2007 in Shenzhen, Shanghai 的发达的地区。
Developed.
So most of those provinces still have this field. In the past, most of the clients serviced by psychiatrists and nurses. No, but most of the organizations don't have the social work. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me. So, your organization has some kind of philosophy or something, or some values, the organizational values. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Organizational culture. Usually, organization will have values or something like that. Values.
We also say we are moving. Our values, yeah.
Your values, yeah.
Organizational values. Yes, we also have this one.
You have it there, right? Okay. Now, you put together the values, identify the values, right? Identify the values of your organization because these are employees of your organization, right? Employees of organization. Maybe there are 5 values, maybe 7 values, I do not know how many values, right? And you got to call it something. You got to label it with something. The 7 values, Santong, whatever, like the 7 Santong value system, philosophy, right? You know what I'm saying, huh? So that it is not anything. And then go ahead and help this mental health. There must be some kind of value system behind it, or you know. So you give a label, you give a branding to it. 要叫什么这个 values of the organization, right? So you are researching on these values of the organization.
Okay.
Okay.
Not in this field, but
In this field, it's still the social workers, because the social workers will be using the values of organization, right?
you mean the supervisors how to use the organization values to this field?
In this field, and then this one is still. So now the research becomes much more unique and novel, right? So now basically you're analyzing the effectiveness, right?
Yeah.
Effectiveness, right, of the social workers.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to see whether these values, organizational values,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Let's say what is it called? Cao
TANG.
高堂
Yeah.
values. Talking about Cao rehabilitation values. Rehabilitation values, right? You're analyzing this, right? And how that affects, how the effectiveness, whether implementing this is the effectiveness, does it go up? Now the values, if you have many, you break it up into 3 parts. Group A, example, yeah.
Yeah.
Cognitive values. Cognitive, that's 思想, right? Emotional values. The 感觉, emotion, right? Behavioral values.
行为
So you can look at it, how this affect that, right? Can you do that? So you're still researching your social workers, but you see how the social workers apply and use and give meaning to the values and see the effectiveness.
From the example, you mean how the 3 values impacted
Yes.
the
Effectiveness.
the supervisors to all the effectiveness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
total effectiveness, yeah. These are the values of, these are from the social, this is an example, I don't know what the values are. It can be some other values, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is how the social workers, right? So when you ask the question, when you think, you know, cognitive value will be something using systematic approach, right? Systematic, that would be, or this one emotional, using empathy, right? Using empathy, you can feel the person, you know, that kind of thing, right? So how do you use this value in your services, in your rehabilitation? And you say, oh, this is how you use it. So you can find out, is it effective, is it not effective, you know? You can do that. So this is your research now. This is the focus of your research is this one. Focus on this one and effectiveness of that. So you got to come up with a name, how the rehabilitation values, the effectiveness of social workers on mental rehabilitation services. So the title can become like that. So the new title can become example, yeah. Counting rehabilitation values and effectiveness of social work, community management, effectiveness of community mental rehabilitation. You improve it services. Effectiveness of social workers, community mental rehabilitation services. Yeah. Or you might have to use this one because there are two words there. Yeah. Counting values and effectiveness of social workers community. Counting three-dimensional values. It sounds more conceptual, right? Three-dimensional. Yeah, there's like three there. Right? So now there's a word to describe the philosophy, the values. So it becomes a novel, an original research. This is the 大跃进. This is 大跃进, the great leap forward. Otherwise, it sounds very, basically, you're studying effectiveness of social work, but now we are studying this, the counting three-dimensional values and effectiveness. You see? Now you're studying that. Okay? So you need to go and improve your work and change your research questions according to this one now.
I think if I use this framework, maybe not only the objectives, also the topic.
Topic will change, of course.
Yeah.
The topic will change.
Okay.
Topic is not generic, it's not general anymore. More specific now.
Okay.
And your organization will have a name.
Okay. Yeah.
Will have a philosophy. You have to develop a philosophy for the organization.
Maybe if I use this framework, maybe the methodology. Yeah, change that to the case research.
Case study research.
Yeah, case study research.
You could, yeah. I would not worry too much about your methodology because your methodology is qualitative and it's definitely still case study because you have case study, right?
Yeah.
So you can change it. Within case study, you can have qualitative research. You can have many other research in case study, but you still can be qualitative, right?
Yeah.
It can still be qualitative. And if you just turn it a case study, besides qualitative, you can also see the quantitative or the document analysis thing about the results of the clients. Right? I can see the written reports. You can analyze content analysis also. You could do that. Okay?
Okay.
Right?
I will.
So, I'm asking another question. Is this a research you want to do? This is not my research, it's still your research, right? But I'm just giving you, I'm framing it, right? We are just framing it so that it is a lead, not, right? Okay. This is your research, not my research. You still want to do research, right? It doesn't change much, but it makes your work more conceptual.
Yeah.
More conceptual, right? Not generic, not general, more conceptual.
Yeah.
Right? You really need to think about this part. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, so improve it. I'd like to see another presentation after this, right? Of your research questions. right? Based on this one. So I want to see what is your counting values. You can give counting rehabilitation values, counting harmonization values, counting whatever, counting speed recovery values.
but this part, it's a government.
Which part?
Yeah, it's a government, not my organization's name.
Oh, I thought you have an organization?
Yeah. My organization name is Sunshine.
So
Sunshine
change.
Service.
You can call it.
Change this to the organization.
Okay, it could be organization name. Yes, it could be that.
Okay,
Yeah. It's up to you what you want to call it, right? But it must be part of your organizational values, right?
Yeah.
You can call it the flower approach, the yin yang approach, right? Okay, the Jing Zhong Zhao approach, whatever approach you want to call. Yeah, because it's yours, right?
Yeah.
You can come up with the term, and so you don't have to worry about because it's your term. Right? Maybe your organization has a symbol. What's the symbol? What's the logo of your organization?
Okay.
Is it a tree, a flower?
It's a sun.
Huh? Sun.
Sun and leaves.
Sun and leaf.
Yeah.
叶
Yeah.
太阳叶子
It's like this.
Okay.
It's,
sunshine. Okay.
Sunshine and these leaves, 4 leaves.
Oh, 4 leaves. Okay. I see ocean in green.
Well, it's okay. 4 leaves from the shape.
Okay. 热光行宫。
阳光。
阳光。Okay. 阳光。
社工。
社工。Okay. 阳光社工。
Named the Sunshine Social Service.
Okay, alright, okay. You can call it that, you can call it something else, up to you. Yeah, now I would like to know what you're going to call and see what happens in your presentation, the next presentation. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then so your next presentation you will need to show what the values are. Okay, and come up with a conceptual guiding of the values. So if there's 7, 8, 10 values, you put it into 2 groups or 3 groups or 4 groups, right? And it can be categorized in that way. So it becomes conceptual now. It becomes a framework. What's framework in Chinese? Framework.
框架。
框架，好像那个这样子
Yeah.
的框
架。
架。
Like a structure.
架子。
Yeah.
Oh, this is 架。
Shapes.
What?
Shape.
Shells.
Yeah.
Oh, 架。Okay. Alright. Okay. We are learning new vocabulary. Okay, alright, wonderful. Okay, Jim? Alright, guys, this is good. Good start. Yeah. That's a good start. Right. So you have more clarity, more originality, more conceptual framework, higher quality, conceptual quality, right? Okay. All right. Now we are ready for Pak Rudi's Cilegon. Cilegon, kan? Cirebon, sorry. Yeah. So there's a Cirebon, kan? What else are there?
Cirebon, Ciawi, Ciselot.
Oh, if you go to Ci, then we endless, there will be too many of them.
Okay, so
Ready?
so the
Okay.
nervous now goes to me.
Yeah?
The nervous. So anxiety to present that is goes to me now.
Okay.
Okay, so should I start right now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I want to record.
Yeah. This stream right away, but
Yeah.
you can see.
Okay, this is the cover. The title is Understanding Environment Tone, the 16th Social Identity of Cirebon, a culinary exploration of cultural heritage, tourism, and economic dynamics. These three aspects, and I want to study it. So next, this is kind of the hypnosis, what I want to study in this research is talking about understanding about Cirebon, a city in Indonesia. One was famous for swim, but now a local dish called Falcon is gaining popularity, and I'm studying how this affect tourism and city social identity from different viewpoints. Then to use that, I use the manual Castell theory to examine the kind of this shifting, the change.
The network.
Yeah.
Network, yeah, right.
Next. So this, starting from this, I will introduce the Cirebon. Cirebon is Indonesian coastal city. It's very important because connecting from city to city, a lot of people pass that area to stop over, is sometimes stay over one night or something, because this kind of very strategic location connecting from east and to west and west to east. Of course, because of this, the city influenced from the other culture and creating the unique identity. This is the origin name of Cirebon, stream connection. Cirebon comes from the Rebon, meaning stream. And then because of that, Rebon sometimes related to the water, and then they call it Cirebon. So this is the name coming. And then they still continue up to now. They produce the stream in terms of the very popular in Malaysia, especially the belacang. Actually, it's coming from this
Oh,
Rebon.
sambal udang.
Not sambal udang, petis,
Betul.
petis, and also belacang for the, and we kway teow sometimes we also.
Laksa here.
Laksa, enjoy laksa. So this is coming, Cirebon very famous for this.
So Cirebon has laksa?
No,
No, yeah.
but the kind of,
Laksa.
actually a kind of laksa. Okay, next.
It's my favorite food, by the way.
Yeah. This one. Cirebon strategic location and cultural diversity. And then Cirebon crucial for transportation on Java Island and Plan, Sudanese, Javanese, Chinese, Arabs. Its coastal location has shaped in culture and economy. So you can see here the kind of explanation about Cirebon is border at the west and central Java, has made it both pivotal hub for economic activities and intercity connectivity. And because of coastal, then history and economy has been closely tied to the sea and fishing activities. This is very important. Usually they have to live in the coastal and seashore and be as a fisherman. Next. This is the story about Cirebon, melting point, traditional art form, and harmonious coexistence. So because even though all the cultural influence, they really live harmony. They live a kind of the social and cultural diversity. They will come together. This is a kind of sample of how the cultural influence the city. From China, you can see it is a batik, actually traditional Indonesia, but China influenced goes to this design. So you can see the cloud on the top. There's really Chinese typical of design, and of course the Arabic and the country Hindu also come to influence this kind of design. And we can see also Cirebon is very cultural city. In other articles all over Indonesia, we celebrate the Prophet Muhammad birthday, 12 Rabiul Awal, because we celebrate this kind of very ritual activities, but really kind of the culture and preserve also heritage. Many Cirebonese living in the city for generation to generation. So some of them really look like Chinese. The eye very narrow and the skin color a bit fair. It's something like very influenced by those visitors. And because of the community bonds, although they are coming from another area, but they bonds together as the community. Right. The point is safety. We can see from the beginning, but Cirebon actually city in the coastal area, live with the fishermen, with the fish, with everything. But nowadays, they changed to become Mpal, kind of the this not come to Shrimp City anymore longer. So now Mpal becomes social identity of the city. It changed. This is my understanding. This is clear the gaps. Why this kind of this phenomenon is happening in Cirebon? So I used phenomenology in Hispanic, so observation, fieldwork, interview, and article research to collect data, analyze the cultural significance of Cirebon cuisine. This we call it phenomenology. So meaning we do a kind of qualitative research, and then because I want to understand deeper analysis of regional cultural and sociological aspect of food and identity. And this is a reference that I use mostly, the manual cassette. How the culture blend and change into the digital world will help us understand how Cirebon food traditions are influenced by both local and global trends. This is one of my background to study this, based on this theory. So, simplified, the research gap could be contribute to the theory building, improve existing theory, identify new insight, and address gaps in knowledge, and also highlight the important diverse and inclusive participation in the research process involving government officials, residents, business owners, and tourists, because tourists influence all these kind of changes. And through this, all participant involvement, participants also could understand better about cultural heritage, contribute to decision making, and support the preservation of Cirebon cultural identity. Then come to the problem statement. I state here, explore how Mpal Gentong influence Cirebon involving social identity, and by examining this, cultural, tourism, and economic implication, the research provide valuable insight for academic knowledge and inform the local policies, tourism strategies, and economic development initiatives. So this is the problem segment I want to emphasize. And then the research question is focused on two. But before I focus on two, I read the book titled Vester and Vester Research. They call it mixed methods research, qualitative and quantitative research. Finally, from that point, I come out with two. How does the rise of Empat Gentong influence the social identity of Cirebon, considering its cultural significance and economic impact? Second question, to what extent social identity theories help us understand the role of Empat Gentong in shaping Cirebon social identity and informing development strategies? So from this is the point, shifting social identity sensitivity to Empat city. I use it, the phenomena, here is the phenomena happen, cultural heritage, tourism, economic dynamic, and this is Manuel Castella's point of view, and this is the Creswell point of view. So I combine this, how to study about shifting social identity in Cirebon from city to become Empat Gentong city. So the objective is enhance academic discourse and expand the culinary culture, social identity, and urban development studies. It stressed the need for diverse approach to social issues. And to simplify, I put it next. I put it like this. Research question 1. How does the rise of Empat Gentong influence the social identity of Cirebon, considering its cultural significance and economic impact? And the objective is to investigate the impact of environmental changes on the decline of Cirebon traditional social identity as a city of changing. So why is it? Second thing, the research question is to what extent can social identity theories help us understand the role of Empat Gentong in shaping Cirebon social identity and informing development strategy. The objective is to explore the role of Empat Gentong traditional communities in shaping Cirebon developing social identity. This question and objective. Then the significance of this evidence of best suggestion for cultural preservation and sustainable growth in Cirebon. So this is the point that I want to address. How the research result beneficial for cultural preservation and sustainable growth in Cirebon. Finally, next. Scope of the study. So I divided by 4. We examine the Empat Gentong culinary significant Cirebon social identity. And second thing, Cirebon shifting identity affect local and national urban development, tourism and cultural preservation perspective. Then examine economic, cultural, environmental, and social aspect affecting Cirebon identity transformation to advocate culture preservation and enhancement. And also, this is also good for a resident of Cirebon, artisan, chef, and cultural practitioner are interviewed and focus on anthropology, sociology, cultural studies, gastronomy, history, and tourist studies. Help us understand Cirebon culture and tradition. And last, according to the study, language and resources constraint can affect research design and interpretation. The research examines Cirebon cultural gastronomy history to understand its city social identity. And it is the chapter of view that could be until 9th chapter, until the introduction, research review, research methodology, historical, Empat tourism dynamic, community perspective, finding and discussion, and finally conclusion and conclusion. I just introduced the chapter 1, the introduction. So the chapter 2, the following chapter is not ready yet. After the approval from our supervisor, then I will go to the second chapter. It is a reference. So far, this is the book that I read, and then also the journal and also the internet. And last part, thank you. But I quote something like the Manuel Castell in his book. Society emphasizes the dynamic relation between communication technology and construction of individual and collective identities in contemporary society as implication for understanding and complexities of identity formation and social change in the digital age. This Manuel Castell said, so I put at the last part to remind me this. Thank you.
Okay, all right, okay. Okay, this is let me go straight to the point I want to comment on. You do have this is the second or third? The second. So you have made substantial progress on the clarity of your research, even more. So this is good. There's some minor but important adjustment. So let's go to your research question, research objective straight away, and then we will relate that with the rest of your research. Okay, the one that one, that's the one. Let's go to that one. So how does research question? Can you attach a bit more? Attach a bit more. More. All right. Okay. Yeah, my eyesight is so good that you need to make it big. So to what extent can social identity theories help us understand the role of the Gentong in shaping Cirebon's social identity and informing development strategies? Okay, the research question number one: how does the rise of Empal Gentong influence the social identity of Cirebon, considering its cultural significance and economic impact? Okay, and then the investigator, all right. This is the important part of the adjustments here. So, first of all, the word, how does the rise of Empal Gentong influence the social identity of Cirebon? So, number one, since it's a research question, secondly, because you are doing phenomenology, so let's do this instead. How does the rise of Empal Gentong influence the social identity of Cirebon? You rephrase it into what is to what extent does Empal Gentong there is still see we want to remove the assumption that it's linear or it's directional.
Yeah.
So one influences the other or one affects the other. We want to use the word connection. What is the connection between Empal Gentong and the social identity of Cirebon? Right? What is the connection? Of Empal Gentong and the social identity of Cirebon. Okay, so underneath that we could have, so that is the research question number one, right? So underneath the research question number one, you could break it up because you want to ask about, just now said cultural, economic, and the other one? Environment.
Cultural heritage.
Cultural heritage.
Yeah. Economic.
Economic.
And then Empal Gentong. Culinary.
Culinary, okay. It's what's the connection? Let me see the So we have that. I think that's one of your slides just now. You were showing. Can we scroll up a bit and about?
Sorry, the sector of the tourism,
Tourism, tourism, right?
tourism, economic dynamic, and also cultural heritage as an important topic.
Okay, all right. So what? So the main question is what? So rephrase a bit, Hanin. What is the connection between Empal Gentong and social identity of Cirebon? What is the connection between Empal Gentong and the social identity of Cirebon? All right. So that is the research question number 1. Underneath the research question 1, so 1.1, how does Empal Gentong or what is the connection of Empal Gentong with the cultural heritage? What is the connection of Empal Gentong and cultural heritage and its culture and of Cirebon, of course. So it should be what is the connection, and what is the connection to Empal Gentong and its cultural heritage, and then what is the connection of Empal Gentong and Cirebon's economic what is it?
Economic dynamic.
Economic dynamics. Yeah. Okay.
Well, this is 1.2.
Should be 1.1, 1.2. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And 1.3 again. What is the connection between Empal Gentong and
Tourism.
and tourism? Right. So you have clarity. So, your analysis will go into these 3 spheres. Okay. Yeah.
So, as the conclusion, the question number 1, we change the influence to connection and related to the cultural heritage, to tourism and economic dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tourism. Yeah. Okay. Of course, all 3 might be an overlap of all 3 too, but you want to acknowledge that because the cultural heritage some of the cultural heritage might be also be connected to the tourism industry or tourism in Cirebon, and then the tourism might be promoted by some economic players and that kind of thing. Some commercialization of it too, right? Some of the tourism is commercialized, some of it might not be commercialized, right? So, or managed economically or not managed economically. Okay, so let's look at research question number 2. Blur that question. Can you move the?
There's
How do you do that?
some issue with error.
Okay.
How about at the beginning?
Error.
I mean, slide at the beginning. What
What at the beginning you want to go to what?
up there?
Which one?
And first of all,
First word.
could you slide from there?
That.
It's error.
Okay, right. Let me try to read that. To what extent can social identity theories explain maybe and help us understand the role of Empal Gentong in shaping Cirebon's social identity and informing development strategies? All right. Okay. Here you are actually going to analysis. So when you construct this question, what do you have in mind? What was your thinking? What were you thinking?
You see the formula from Manuel Cassel on this changing situation. So he mentioned about, how to say, actually he mentioned these 4 items. Just a minute. Cultural flow and resistant and interdisciplinary approach, something like that. So from that point, so I just use.
Okay, so now if you are using phenomenology, okay, before that, right? Is there anything else you want to know about this research? Anything else? Because this one is analysis, right? Research question 2 is research. You put research question as analysis. So anything else you are interested in?
Actually, hidden agenda.
Okay. What is it? Let's see.
Actually, what happened with the fisherman actually?
Okay, all right.
But actually, this one maybe I need the bridge before that. So
Alright.
I want to see what happened, why they changed to become.
So the fisherman turned into different job. Now
Could be,
he's
Could be, yeah.
architect instead of
All right.
sea.
Okay, good. That's okay, all right. Okay. So we can have that as a research question number 2.
Yeah.
So research question number 2, if I read what your intention is, right? There's a research fisherman is also the shrimp.
Yeah, actually.
Right, the shrimp, right? So apa namanya? So research question number 2 can be something like this. Let's work on that one, yeah, because that is an important part. It seems from your the hidden agenda actually is an important part. Your isi hati is in your heart, there, right? So how let's before you type, let's work it out first, right? What are the maybe we can phrase it this way, before, how is the dynamics, the cultural, economic, and tourism dynamics, right, connect with the marginalization, right, of the fishermen and shrimp as the social identity of Cirebon. Would you be interested to look at that?
Actually, it is at the end actually, because I'm influenced by you.
Okay. So
Fighting for fishermen.
and I think that's because the shrimp icon is still there in Cirebon, right? They still have a big statue of the shrimp, right?
Yeah.
But the shrimp disappeared, and the fisherman that catches the shrimp also disappeared, right? So what's the what is it? The decline or marginalization? You can choose whatever word you want to use.
I think we don't know about the decline.
We don't know. Okay, good point there. Let's make that as question number 2 then. Yeah. So you want to study about the shrimp identity too, right? So you could study that. What is it? Yeah? What is the situation? What is the for lack of a better word, we just use the situation first until we find a different term, right? What's the situation with was it Cirebon? What's the situation with Cirebon vis-a-vis? How about that? Vis-a-vis its shrimp. Vis-a-vis its social identity of shrimp and fishermen. Okay, let's rework on that one. So let's see what. So that can be question number 2. You want to rephrase it better, already, yeah?
Yeah.
So. How can we rephrase this? What is it you want to know? What you want to know is what happened to
The fisherman and the stream.
yeah, okay. What happened to what happened? Yeah, what happened? But when you say what happened, here you want your main approach is qualitative, right?
Yeah.
Main approach is qualitative, right? Okay. Then we want to phrase the question in a way that can be answered qualitatively, not trapping ourselves with the question itself, right? So what meanings how do you say this, yeah? Because you've got to study the people who are going to give you a response afterwards, yeah. What meanings do what are the social meanings of shrimp? No, because the fisherman is not just meaning, right? You want to study the fisherman's livelihood, or what is it, yeah? You want to study?
Because the economic dynamic, so meaning all the people love the environment. So where the fisherman production, meaning producing the fish and the shrimp. Because if nobody want to buy, then they will go.
They won't be fishing the shrimps anymore, right? Or they might be exporting the shrimp somewhere.
Like Mas Hanif say, maybe looking as the partner of Xiong.
Yeah.
But again, this one civilization is gone actually.
Yeah, one big heritage.
That's right.
Big piece of the heritage is gone. Okay. Then let's rephrase this and we find a different way.
Okay, sure.
To what extent has the shrimp as a social identity of Cirebon, as well as the fisherman heritage being marginalized?
Fisherman
Heritage.
heritage.
So we phrase it as a heritage. Okay. To what extent has the shrimp as a symbol, as a social symbol, and the fisherman heritage being marginalized in Cirebon? I put question mark first. So we can see that in the following spheres, following spheres. Then you put dot. One, who would you interview, Pak Rudi?
Of course, second is also both actually. Fisherman,
So put fisherman there. So
and also the seafood restaurant,
the seafood restaurant, number 2.
and also the residents,
The residents.
and also tourists.
As well as tourists, 4. Okay. So you want to interview these 4 groups, right? Okay. All right. So the phrasing of the research question number 2 will be that, right?
Yeah.
To what extent has, or have, because there are 2 things now, have the shrimp as Cirebon's symbol, and the fisherman heritage being marginalized in the four social spheres, and then dot dot, one, the fisherman community, two, the empal gentong, ya?
No, yeah, seafood restaurant.
Seafood restaurant, sorry, seafood restaurant. Number three, the tourist. Number four,
the ordinary residents.
or residents, okay. Okay, right.
So resident actually cover both identity and also this one restaurant.
All right, okay. So that, number four. Okay. Now, that's two research questions there will be more than sufficient for you.
Okay.
Okay. So the analysis of the Castell analysis, right?
Yes.
Will be part of your analysis, not the research question.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the part that you improve on. You have the research question. So your research objective right now, Parodi, right?
Yeah.
Is to make it align to your research questions.
Yes.
Don't make it too far away, right?
Yeah.
So instead of it, to investigate the impact of environment changes and all that,
Yeah.
you just make to investigate what is it? The connection between the connection and yeah. So it's exactly like a research question, only phrased as a research objective. So to investigate or to examine, these are the words you to examine, to investigate, to analyze, you can use those words. Yeah?
Thank you.
You have that, you have that. So, okay, there you have that clarity. There's not much. These are minor, but I say to you, important changes, right? The other part for you to have clarity with is the methodology, which is phenomenology. So phenomenology is an abductive part of under abductive research strategy. So when we have abductive research strategy, we are not testing or applying a theory, right? So if you say you're using Castell theory, whatever theory, the network society, basically, you're looking at network society, right? Blue book, right? What is it, blue book? I forgot one of the color of the book is. Yeah, it's blue book, yeah. But I think this is his second book, maybe.
Second book.
Second book, yeah.
I think the latest book.
This book, okay. One is the network society, I think. Yeah. So you can use this Castell's theory to analyze, but not to use it to test the theory. You're not testing the theory, you're not applying the theory, right? You can use certain concepts from the theory as sensitizing concepts in your interview for phenomenology, but not, like this. It has this framework, you're testing the framework, and they become deductive. You're using abductive. Because you're the phenomenology, then you will have much richer explanation to the phenomena. Right? To the phenomena of cultural heritage, to the phenomena of economics, dynamics, to the phenomena of tourism. Right? Right? So, since Parodi, you are also interviewing the fishermen, right? Your research question number one. About cultural heritage. How are you looking at cultural heritage? So you were interviewing the same groups of people, right?
Yeah, same group actually.
Right? You're not interviewing the bureaucrats, right?
At the beginning, yes, we'll get some data, the data of the condition. Then after that, we go to the field, we're asking for these four groups.
Okay.
So this is only just talking about the growth of the business, the growth of something like that.
For the business, yeah.
Yeah, that's only just to,
You want to make them as a important part of your research or not?
I just worry about how
Because
the bias.
they might represent authority in a
Yeah.
sense, right?
There's something like more policy than really like going to force people to do that, to do that, to do that. So I just want to get data only, and the
Okay.
rest is
Alright.
binary participant.
So remember that in your research question number 1, you're looking at the connection between what again?
Cultural heritage.
Empagentong, right? Empagentong, right? Okay. The empagentong and the cultural heritage,
Yeah.
the economic dynamics,
Islamic
as well as tourism.
services.
Okay. So you can still interview the 4 groups of people,
Yes.
right? As far as cultural heritage is concerned, you will get it from the 4 groups of people and the cultural heritage. All right. So the phrasing of question number 1, right? To make sure that it is not an objective question, more of subjective question to that,
Yeah.
because you're doing qualitative here, right? So, to what extent is connected? Okay. So, we want to be concerned about not trapping ourselves into answering that, Can you read the question again, Anna?
The first question. What
Or
is the original one or
the improved one?
what is the connection between Empagentong and social identity of Cirebon? There's also another 3 sub-questions.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's improve the question. What is the connection between Empagentong and what's that? And what?
Social identity.
Social identity of Cirebon. Vis-a-vis again in relation to cultural heritage, economic dynamics, right? And tourism in the 4 social spheres. Then you repeat the social spheres yang ada in the question number 2 Pak Rudi.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll be interviewing the same group of people,
Yeah.
right? And interview the same group of people. So you put it, so what is the connection of Empagentong as a social identity of Cirebon in relation to cultural heritage, economic dynamics, and tourism in the social spheres of the fishing community, the seafood restaurant, tourists, and residents. Right? Clear already?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
So so we are not trapping ourselves with an objective question. Your findings will be able to answer the research question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's the same as research question number 2, but then you're asking about Empagentong now. Right? So it's actually the same as research question number 2, but it's Empagentong. But research question number 2 has the idea of marginalization or the decline of, right? To what extent? What is right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, you're safe now. What else I want to say just now? There was something else I want to say. Already again, your font, make it bigger.
Yes.
And have the keywords highlighted there somewhere. Yeah. But it seems like you're explaining things rather than you're reading it.
Yeah.
So just have it a number bigger and highlighted. You are not reading it, you're explaining it, which is fine too, which is good. Yeah. Yeah. It's better that you explain it the way you explain it. For Jim, you will want to read it because we want to make sure that they get what you say. Yeah? So, Farudi's the research is simple to understand. Okay. For both of your presentation proposal, right? You will want to include policy implications. Yeah, policy implication, right? So one of the significance, I think you have the significance slide there, right? To recommend policy implications from the findings. As simple as that, right? Right. So put the idea of policy implication, recommend policy implications. And for Parudi's case, definitely you're interested to do that too, right? Because you want to probably recommend some policy for the fishermen, maybe for the restaurants, maybe. And well, if shrimp is an important part of Cirebon's identity, then there should be some policy on that one, right? To maintain the policy. Right. This is a serious photographer, Maybe you want to make it bigger so that it can be captured by.
But to make it clear, otherwise not really.
All right.
From the side, from the.
Okay, from the angle there, right.
Okay.
And one final thing, I just want to recommend to all of you, right, including highlight in your presentation, right. You can include a quote or a word of wisdom, a poem or whatever at the beginning of your presentation, so to make it much more refined and classy. At the beginning you have some trendy or whatever,
That's what
like
introduce.
when you have your topic, after your topic, the first slide, put in some word of wisdom or something that relates to your research. Yeah. Or some pantun, right? So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like what's that? What is it?
The farmer.
How sing your how power, something like that, right? At the beginning, the first one, right? Because so you can say the values as your sing, your tone now is you get what I'm saying, right? Some trendy, but in English after that, right? So you can say Chinese proverb, right? So it's from China, right?
Say in your heart.
In your heart.
Yeah.
Whatever you choose, you want to highlight. Just to make the presentation much more human, more artistic, human, right? I thought it'd be good to have that. So like Parudi actually have a quote, Castell's quote at the end there. You can put a quote at the beginning too if you want to, right? But it'd be nice to put a Cirebon quote at the beginning there. It's an Indonesian quote. Indonesian are rich with local wisdom and words of wisdom and even lyrics from song, we could use it too. Right, yeah, right. yeah. So you begin with that. Many times I do that, but not all the time. But then, probably you do that, and it reminds me that it's something that is good to put. You're linked to it later on. But put something relevant, not suddenly not relevant. There's no connection.
Relevant to the research.
Relevant to the research or relevant to your work, something.
In the background?
In the background or after your title?
After the title.
After the title slide.
After the title slide, introduce that.
Before introduction.
So the Chinese proverb has this, or there's a Chinese saying, there's one of popular music right now, whatever it's
Relevant to study.
right? Like I think that's Mao Zedong said, I think that to cross a great chasm you got to do it in one big leap, if I'm not mistaken. To cross a great chasm, right? You got to make it in one big leap. So you want to, like, from one small mountain to another mountain, you cannot do 3, 4, 5 steps, right?
Yeah.
You got to jump, right? So you got to jump. I think that's I might be wrong, but I think it's Mao Zedong.
I think that's it.
I think it's Mao Zedong. That's why he introduced the word great leap forward, right? But I forgot what was it about. I forgot the context about it. You should know that, Kaila. You're one of the ancestors.
Think about it in Chinese. What is the original word?
Yes. Yeah,
But I think it's good to find some like 成语 relevant to the study. So after the title.
Yeah. I think that makes it more.
Because I want to make it, natural.
Yeah.
Not very.
Yeah, dry and too systematic, not. You know what I mean? If you put it there, it becomes human, natural. You're right. And Chinese has a lot of, Chinese.
Yes. So it's also a strategy.
It's also a strategy. So by putting that, then it makes it more scholarly, more intellectual, right? Right? Well, you had a feel that this is a scholar speaking, right?
I will try.
You have this one as well, 李白，追酒当歌，人生
几
如
何？
对酒当歌，
人生如何？几何？ What does it mean?
Number 几？
几何？
Yeah.
What does it mean? Tell me.
It's meaning drinking the wine, and he just asked it's asked a question: how many years you can in your life?
Yeah.
But it's not the meaning of the words. It is to show that you have the limited time.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying your life is limited.
The time is limited, so enjoy it and make it valuable.
Make it valuable. Okay.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. But Li Bai is also a frustrated poet, right?
Yes.
Because he's like being a captive, right? The emperor forced him from his hometown, like from his jiaxiang, forced to be in the palace. So he's always like thinking about, he misses his his hometown, his village, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Excuse me, Professor, I have a question. Last time, can I do the presentation about the CSR? And then again, CSR, yeah,
Yes, yes.
CSR. So I have an idea about just like you see the value of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
I think is there any difference between the organization value and the CSR? Also, I think maybe there's a few, I don't know, maybe
Yes,
a few scholars.
I think you may choose the stakeholder theory as a framework to because they have different values with interactions with the government, with the community.
You're asking what Kailai was doing or what you?
Me.
Yours.
Yes.
Social work is that they are the employees of the
Yeah.
organization.
Okay. I see.
Maybe maybe there's no scholars, maybe a few scholars research topic about the non-profit
Organization.
yeah the CSR of the institution.
Yes.
So I want to know, is there any difference between the value and the CSR?
Oh, is there a different? Okay. Is there a CSR? Usually, when big companies, when they make a CSR policy, right, and they will highlight certain key values. You say that we are governed by 5 values or something, right? Be compassionate to the people, caring to the environment. They will highlight, so they will have values. Right? Big companies tend to have corporate values. They will, whether it's true or not, it's fake or not, that's a different story. They have the word values they use, and usually values in the context of CSR, they put the values part of their CSR. Yes, in that sense,
Maybe it's one part of the CSR.
is one part. Values can be one part of CSR. You're right. So there's CSR. Usually, a complete CSR, they should have the mission, vision statement, the policy statement of CSR. They have the values of CSR, and then they have these different programs of CSR. Right? So values can be and often is, or the value system, right, is often part of CSR, organizational CSR too. That's right. Yeah. But not all companies have CSR, There's some companies just use the word values, right? So CSR tend to be associated with bigger companies. But maybe not in China. Maybe China just use children as
responsibility.
Also a little, maybe not all the company have the CSR. Maybe also. Because I know that like just like Tencent.
Tencent.
Tencent and other big companies.
Yeah.
Also every year the organizations maybe hold the donate from Tencent every September. So in this case, I want to know about the topic. Except that one, could I do more topic about the CSR about the profit?
CSR of the non-profit.
Yeah.
This is a non-profit, right?
Yeah.
It's a non-profit, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. Is there any CSR about the non-profit.
Non-profit.
Yeah. Or is the non-profit just responsibility?
Yeah. So the term CSR is usually not used for non-profit, right? Because non-profit is not corporate. CSR stands for corporate social responsibility, right?
Yeah.
So non-profit usually is, you can call it NPOs, non-profit organization, or NGOs, non-government organization, or community-based organization, right? So by default, all these are already a form of social enterprise, or maybe some are social business. So when the company is framed in that sense, CSR is often associated with corporate entities and private entities, private companies and corporate it's not usually associated with non-profit or NGOs, right? But have they used that word? Yes, they have used that word, right? But I don't know in the Chinese context how is it used. Now, if you're asking whether you want to use the word CSR up there, right, as your title, right, as your title, you do want to research a bit before. You can use the word social responsibility values. You can use that. That is it. Social responsibility values. So it might not be CSR, but social responsibility values. Right?
I think it's good.
Sunshine social responsibility values. SR. Social responsibility values. That is workable, right?
Is that a new term?
No, the social responsibility is not a new term. There's standards. There's standards of social responsibility that can be applied to organizations.
Yeah.
So that organization can be companies, can be hospitals, can be universities. So SR.
Yeah.
That's called. You can also there's also standard ISO 26000. You know ISO, right? ISO 26000 is a standard for social responsibility, not CSR. Social responsibility is one of the best, if not the best standard. So good the standard is, companies don't want to use it because they're afraid. I'm in that standards thing because it is all the countries in the world come together to decide the standard. Right. So good that companies are afraid to use it. It's one of the standards that says this cannot be used as a certification standard or something like that. Stated down there. So big companies are afraid of ISO 26000.
Too good.
It's too good. It's too good. Yeah. And it's not coming from the capitalists. It's not coming from companies. It's coming from the labor movement, the consumer groups, the academics. It's a strong, very powerful piece of a standard. So it's not, they're too good. Because for this ISO 26000, not only you have to do good, but you cannot be complicit when other people do wrong. You know what complicit is? Complicit means, if I'm a company, right, I go to Africa, right? Africa is usually the example, right? I'm a Petronas, right? Oil company going to Africa. Right? I do good to Africans, but the government does something bad to the people. I must report. So the idea is like this: if I'm a neighbor, right, I see a father abusing the wife or the child, I must report. That's my social responsibility to report, right?
Yeah.
Because I see somebody abusing a child, I cannot look away. I'm being complicit if I look away. And not just look away, I still do business with you, right? I still do business with you. And I know that you are abusing your child, right? So it's wrong for me to not say anything. So companies They don't like that, right? They go to some country, can this country do this country do that? They don't want that. So they're afraid of that. But the philosophy is that. The philosophy is, if you're a neighbor and you work with that neighbor, and that neighbor abuse the wife, the child, or the husband, or the mother, you must report, right? It's a responsible thing to report. So complicity is called complicity. So it's powerful. It is powerful.
So we also use the standard SR in our program.
Organization, it's called SR, social responsibility. So you can talk about values of social responsibility. Whatever you come up, you can come up with a term, whatever. Make it original. So, but you use your sunshine value system, right?
I just think this program because there are only six social work
Six social work.
in this project.
Okay.
If I use the case study with the simple enough.
You could. Case study it can be one case study. Yeah, it could be like that, yes. It can be one person, one case study, you can do that. And for social work, that's what they call it, a case, right? I have a case,
Yeah.
right? The term they use is actually a case. And for social work, and because social work in this way is closer to psychology and psychiatrists, right? This is where they tend to differ from sociologists. Sociologists tend to be bigger, right?
Yeah.
Psychiatrists tend to do one case at a time, analyze one case at a time, right? So case study, when we have six, then you have more than one case. So you can call it case study. There's no problem. So a case study, but the case study must be clear. Your case study of your organization now.
Okay, I think that's also a problem. Could I use my organization for the research?
You could.
Could.
Yes, you can. There's no problem with that. You can. Which means it's good that you have access to data.
Okay.
There's no problem with that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Pak Rudi, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe if you need to, you can make another presentation, Pak Rudi. But I think you're on solid ground now. You have better. But if you need to, if you want to make another presentation, you could. Jim, I would like to see another presentation from you then. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I have sorry. How about the assignment for POL?
Assignment is with you have your group work, right?
Group work.
Jim.
And for my oil assignment, I could.
This